Hello dear viewers and welcome back again. And today's guest, Fatima Malak, is a Kuwaiti architect who specializes in earth architecture and ceramics. Her love for conservation and historical preservation of traditional Kuwaiti architecture is evident in her previous university studies and her current experiments with pottery. Now, she achieves such results through hands-on strategies and research from books and reliable articles. Now, Fatma's work not only pays homage to rich heritage of our culture, but she also influences or infuses it with her unique creativity, making traditional elements more accessible and engaging. And welcome to the show, Fatima, and how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
So tell me, where did this love of ceramic came from, and also architecture in general?
It all started when I was young. Okay. I had a fun time creating and using old packages to create doll houses and houses for my dolls. So it kind of started from that time. But then I applied for architecture school, and it was a bit stressful. So I was able to use ceramics as a form of relieving my stress and working hands-on with it.
All right, amazing. So what is your process for creating your ceramics?
So the process of creating my ceramics comes from everyday influences and whatever I see and utilized every day. It's usually goes from mugs to cups to plates, and it starts off as a ball of clay, and then using the pottery wheel, I get to create my pieces.
All right. Now, what is the most difficult shape you ever have done? Because I've seen classes of ceramic. I've never actually tried it. I'm very interested actually in doing it, but I kind of feel it's a little bit finicky and very sensitive to do actually.
Yes, you're right. You're definitely right. But I wouldn't say the shape would be the most difficult. It's working with the amount of clay. So the bigger the amount, the more difficult it is to handle, because it requires a lot of labor and a lot of upper body strength. So I would say it's like mostly working with clay that is more than 500 grams.
All right, because I've seen in some some social media videos of people in Asia actually making those really big clay pots for housing big trees.
Yes.
And it's so difficult. They're not just using labor, but also using specific tools just to get a specific shape, and they have a very minimum amount of time to do it.
Of course, and it all comes with experience and working hands-on. So it comes with practice also.
All right.
Yeah.
So how long do your pieces take in the kiln or the oven?
So it depends, because there are a couple of firings that you need to put your pieces through. You have the bisque fire, which is the initial firing. It usually takes up to 12 to 14 hours. But then you have the glaze firing, which is when you color the mug or color your piece, and that takes up to 24 hours.
All right.
Yes.
And how creativity led you to basically to architecture in general? I mean, at one point, you, other than ceramics, you're into architecture.
Yes.
So where does this love connection actually stem from?
Yes, that's a very important question. My love comes from my love for old Kuwaiti traditional architecture, the architecture that was made from earth. So before the introduction of concrete, before the introduction of modern technologies, our grandfathers used to build with earth, and it was very hands-on. So it stemmed from that, because I would like to preserve and conserve our history, and this is kind of like a segue, like an in-between between kind of reviving the history and our traditional architecture, but also working hands-on on specific.
I sense that you have a specific goal that you want to reach for, because you're so passionate about it. So what is the goal that you want to get to, and what impact do you want to give right here in our beloved country in Kuwait?
Yes, I would like to build my own firij out of earth architecture, using a traditional craftsmanship, but also incorporating modern technologies. Because in my university, in my master's program, I was able to merge mixed reality, which is a current technology, as well as traditional craftsmanship, and create something more unique and create a new earth language for Kuwait.
Amazing. I mean, yeah, it's true, because usually using those type of materials are sustainable, and we are right now in the age of sustainability. Could you tell us more about the, not just the methods, but the materials that you use to approve sustainability?
Yes. So actually, earth architecture is quite simple. It only consists of a couple of components, and it doesn't need a kiln or an oven to fire.
Of course.
So you need earth, sand, a little bit of shells, which is what they used in old Kuwaiti architecture, like the Beit al-Sadu, the Sadu house. You need straw and then water, and that's it. And then you mix them together, and then you can either create molds to make bricks, or you can directly put it together and create a wall.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that you want to make your own firij, I mean, that's your future plan.
Yes.
How does it reflect to the community? Because we know that we're right now in an age where now modern looks or modern buildings are there. Minimalism is also there. We're moving away from maximalism, from bold colors. So how can you tie this with the communities and how they can actually go back to their roots?
So first of all, it needs a community to build it.
Of course.
So alone, I wouldn't be able to create this firij. So that kind of involves the community, and it actually requires hands-on application. So firsthand. But also, I would love to make a firij fully out of earth, but I think because of our current weather conditions, it might be a little difficult. So we'd combine both and create a new language that could relate to the current community, but also pay homage to the previous. Like in terms of ornaments or the sedu.
Basically bridging between the past and the future.
And the future. Present and future, yes.
Present and future. Now, with that said, about making such a community that can help you, what is the importance of actually preserving these type of, this type of traditional knowledge and preserving it? Should it be something that we should expand starting from the firij and going on? Do we want to see it in different places in Kuwait?
Yes, I would love to. That would be my dream.
Because I do know that every firij used to have a story.
Yes.
And used to have they used to have like small, intricate things that could differ from one firij to the other.
Yes.
So how can we actually preserve it?
I think maybe it would be difficult to live in such firij because of maybe what we're used to now in terms of AC and air conditioning. But I think it would be a good idea to preserve not only Kuwait's architecture, but the different craftsmanship that our grandfathers or the people before us used to contribute in. For example, sedu weaving, we can have a firij for sedu weaving, we have a firij for bist weaving, we can have a firij for the different jewelries of our time, like ilhama, for example.
Bakeries and sweets also.
Yes, like you have dances, il-samri, you have sweets, you have food, you have dough building.
Fish markets also.
Fish markets, yes.
And not to forget the farms.
Of course, yes, you're completely right. So it could be furjan for the crafts of Kuwait.
Yeah, okay. With that said, one more question, which is basically responding to the Kuwait's climate. How can such architecture and idea of this sustainable firij can actually help with the climate?
So yes, we have to look back at the components of the old Kuwaiti house. So an important factor of that is the courtyard. So having the courtyard in the middle allows for natural ventilation, which cools down the area. But also, back in the day, there used to be wind towers to allow the circulation to fully circulate and ventilate the whole space. So it could help with keeping it sustainable. But again, back in the day, the weather conditions were a little different to now because of global warming and the rise of temperatures. So we might need to add other forms of renewable energy, such as solar panels, that could allow us to incorporate modern and traditional ways, for example.
Any last messages for dear viewers when it has to do with architecture, pottery, and ceramic?
I think that Kuwaiti culture should be celebrated every day in all different forms of art and architecture, and it shouldn't just come up during specific times and events, because 100%. Kuwaiti architecture and our culture is beautiful, and it should be represented and celebrated all the time.
That's very true. It is our identity in the end of the day, and it has to be celebrated. Well, thank you so much, Fatima, for being with us today. It's been a pleasure actually talking to you about this, and it's been an eye-opener, as they say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you.
All right. All thanks to our guest right here, Fatima Malak, and we're going to take a short break. I'll be right back for more, so stay tuned.